They're automated. If I schedule a program, it'll play its own show. If everything is operating properly, you can just turn it on and then walk away, and it'll, at 6:54, it'll start playing the trailers.
I see everything.
When you look down Main Street and you see this big tower with all these neon lights, when it's on at night and it just kind of lights up, that's this look and feel of a Main Street that you would have to have millions of dollars to build from scratch today. It's a kind of a miracle that it's still here, and as new owners of the theater, I feel like it's our job to honor that history.
It feels like a very important part of this town, and so we feel very supported by the town, loved by the town.
It's just one of those kind of classic Americana things that a lot of small towns had back in the 30s and 40s. This theater was built in 1939, the last real year of the Art Deco era that had been going on for a few decades. The theater was built by the Bear brothers. It obviously had to stay operational and just functioning throughout the 85 years, and so there have been a lot of changes. It was originally a one-screen, it had 550 seats or so, and it was a one-screen movie house, and it had a stage for live performances. And eventually in the early 90s, a wall was built down the middle and it was twinned into a two-screen. And then in 2010 to 2012, when it got its 35mm upgrade to digital projectors, it got a third screen. I applaud all the history of this building because it's still here, it's still showing movies like it always did. My wife and I ended up owning this theater. It's really worked out really well. Yeah, we're a married couple, we're business partners. Now we're movie discussion buddies. Like we get to decide all these different things, like what movie to bring in and talk over the finances. We've found that each of our strengths are perfectly suited for what it takes to own and operate a small indie theater. She's more the bookkeeper, the math nerd.
Tim and I have joked that he had to buy a movie theater, or we had to buy a movie theater in order for him to get me to go to the movies, which is not entirely true. We've gone to the movies plenty of times because I know it's his favorite thing, but I'm an introvert and I don't like crowds, and so it's not my favorite thing. It's pretty perfect for us. It's not perfect, it's really hard and it's really overwhelming, but for us, it feels like the perfect fit.
My wife and I moved back down to Los Angeles, lived in Burbank, because I got a job at Warner Brothers. Even working for Warner Brothers, it was both a dream come true and so tough. It's that Hollywood churn. You're a cog in a big machine, you get torn up and kind of spit out the other end. And after 5 years, in 2015, we decided to move out of LA. My dad's originally from Minnesota, from Minnetonka, but now that both my parents are retired, they spend half the year out here in northern Minnesota. They floated this idea to my parents. Anybody, know anybody who might want to buy the theater eventually? And that message got to us. Did you guys want to move to Minnesota and own the Park Theater?
We are in a very tourist-driven area. So in the summer, it's really, really busy. Tourists come from all over. That's when we make a lot of our money that is sustaining us for the year. During the slow season, it can be a lot more difficult. Another challenge is, and something that we didn't realize when we bought the theater, is how much money the studios take from our ticket sales. So when I was doing our year-end numbers, I think about a quarter of our gross income went back to the studios.
We hope to do some more remodel, renovation, write those grants and raise that money to keep the Park Theater beautiful, and also maybe peel back the layers and look at the Art Deco bones that it originally had in the late 30s.
Make sure people get the corn, not the kernels.
Yeah, while we all streamed like crazy and stayed indoors during the pandemic, and that's still an option. I stream at home. It's just, I think people are still coming out because they want to leave their living room and you want a different experience. It's a good sized theater for this town and this area. There are big multiplexes further away, but if you're in town, you want to see a good movie. It's been working for the Park Theater for about 85 years. And so somehow we just want to keep it working. And the trick there is, balancing that art and commerce.
It's been wonderful. Tim and I have lived a number of different places, and we've loved all of them for different reasons. This place feels like home. It feels kind of magical. It's bigger than ourselves. I think part of what's magical about it is it's a dream that we didn't know was a dream.
Funded by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008. And by the members of Prairie Public.